friends, hello. I'm really sorry if this, first of all, the camera is probably crooked. I really am trying my best here. And also this background is obviously not my background. This is my sister's bedroom. I am currently in Washington, D.C. It's Sunday right now. This video is probably getting posted on Monday, but I am seeing Taylor Swift on Tuesday. So Tuesday night, just like think of me and be like, oh, she's seeing Taylor Swift. We're so happy for her. But while I was here, I had a ton of new makeup coming and it arrived on my doorstep at my house in Rochester right before I left. I was walking out the door and there was just a little package right there filled with things for me to play with. So I decided to bring all of them here to DC with me. It's so hot in this room, so if I look really oily, it's because I can't turn on the fan or you won't be able to hear me. So we're just gonna get through it. So I have a whole bunch of new stuff I wanted to try and also just like talk to you guys. I feel like we haven't talked in a really long time. So we're just gonna hang out, get ready, do it, yeah. So the first thing I got that I wanted to try is the Makeup Revolution Pro Base Blur Primer, and it's called the Illumination Base. I actually scored it a little bit. I'm so have no impulse control. So the second I got all this makeup, I did swatch a lot of it. Maybe used a couple things already, but I really tried not to. This has like micro glitter in it. I don't know if you guys can see because it probably just looks like a goop. Feels a lot like the YSL Tucci Clot Blurring Primer, except it definitely is like a little bit thicker. You can kind of feel it a lot more on your skin. But I really like the way it makes my skin look right off the bat. I will say though, it's very silicone-y, so if you don't like silicone primers, I don't think this is the move for you. I don't think this is like what you're gonna like. The next thing I'm testing out and trying out is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Foundation. I already have worn this like twice. Like I said, I don't have us. I bought some of this stuff, like some of this is stuff I just got in the mail, so I really haven't used it. But I bought this Flower Beauty foundation for this video like probably a week and a half ago. So I've worn it a couple times. And it's not that it's bad, because it's definitely not, I'm just going to hold the mirror. Is that going to bug you guys? It's definitely not a bad foundation. I just noticed that the wear time, it gives a really pretty finish right off the bat, which I really like, but the wear time is definitely not the best. I'm sorry the lighting isn't great for this video, but you guys, a lot of you subscribed to me when I was filming on a MacBook, so I feel like this, you could deal with one video where the quality's not the best. So I've been in DC for, I got here on Friday night, been here a few days. And I actually have done a lot of like kind of fun things. My family lives in DC. Both of my sisters live here. It is so hot in here. I'm dying. Both of my sisters live down here just because this is kind of where they ended up. But I've also, my dad like grew up here. And I come down here. I've come down here every single year since I was literally born for Thanksgiving. And I always come down here. I would say twice a year since I was born. I've come to DC. So I've been to this area a lot. Like, I just have done everything. But my boyfriend, until he met me, Charles, my boyfriend, I'm going to be trying out the Catrice Camouflage Cream. It's on sale for $2.99 at Ulta right now. Catrice, I really like their Camouflage Concealer. So this is their Camouflage Cream. So I'm wondering if it's just a little bit more concentrated version of their concealer. So we're gonna give it a go. But anyway, I'm wondering, I think this is more of a, oh no, coverage is really nice. My boyfriend had never been here before until he met me. And so the first time we came down, we did, like, showed him the White House, showed him the mall with, like, Washington Monument and the Capitol building and everything. We went to the Museum of Natural Science, because that's, like, he's, like, a math guy. That's, like, all his math and science. It's, like, his thing. But then... And we, like, did all these other things, too, the next few times we went. But now, this is, like, our 7th or 8th time going since we've been dating. Because we've just come down here a lot. For just, like, various reasons. And so we both kind of are now kind of out of things to do. Because I've done everything 10 times over. Like, every museum you can think of. Every sort of... Everything, really. Hold on, I'm going to use this Flower Beauty Settings Powder. Okay, like, I've used this once and it was okay. I like the powder, it's fine. The packaging is so, you look at this packaging, right? And you're like, oh, that's kind of unique and cool. Like, they're gonna make it a bigger shape or whatever. You open it and it literally, is this little tube. It's basically it's a normal setting powder container, but like enclosed into a massive thing. I just think it's the most inconvenient way to store this, but we're just gonna use it. I got the brightening one, I think, so we'll see. The coolest thing we did while we were here, though, was one of the times, it was one of the first few times we were here, we actually, we did a March for Science with Bill Nye the Science Guy, and we like marched to the Capitol, and it was like a protest. My boyfriend found out it was happening and was like, we're doing this. So that was really cool. And that was like a lot of fun. Like we had a really good time. And we got to like see Bill Nye and just protest for something that we both really do believe in. And that was really cool. I told my sisters, because my sisters never go to protests or anything. And I told them, I was like, if I lived here, I would go to every single protest. Like I would really be like utilizing the fact that I lived in Washington, D.C. But so now when we come, it's not that it's not fun, it is fun, but we're more like localized to it now. The sort of touristy things that are cool when you first start coming aren't really cool to us anymore because we've done them. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Pressed Powder. This is another new product that I bought when I got the flower stuff. And I've used it a couple times and I really like it. It's kind of slowly replacing my Rimmel Stay Matte. I just think it leaves the drugstore pressed powders. I'm going to do like a whole, I did a video of like this a while back, but I did a video where I like compared drugstore to high end and talked about like what's worth it. Pressed powders are something you can so find at the drugstore. So I'd love to do a video talking about that. But this time, so we didn't really have any plans on what we were going to do. Yesterday, my sister actually works at a museum in DC. That wasn't really our style of a museum, but she got us free tickets and we'd never been. So we were like, oh, we'll go to that. So we went to that. And then afterwards, my other sister, I have two sisters, I might film a video with them tomorrow and post it on Wednesday. If you guys want to see that, let me know. Because I think, oh, this is new too. This is the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow Matte Bronzing Powder. And I'm going to be contouring with this. I used this last night when I was getting ready. And I really like it. I think it's a little bit warm toned. So if that's not your thing, I don't think you're going to like this. But for me, I have really been enjoying it. It blends out and kind of goes into the skin. Super nice. But so my other sister, who's very kind of like posh and like she went to fashion school. She's like in fashion merchandising and stuff. She's very like bougie kind of. She's very like a socialiteist kind of. It's really funny. But she told me, she's like, well, there's this exhibit, it can't be missed. And it made me laugh. But she was like, my boss told me it just cannot be missed. And she said it was going to be like a satirical, take on the art of Burning Man Music Festival. And I just thought that would be like kind of interesting because I mean, I just went to my music festival, but Burning Man is like so different than the music festival I went to. Like that's a whole different ballgame. Like the people that go to Burning Man, it's a way, but I thought it would be funny because, not even funny, I was kind of confused because I was wondering how they were going to turn it into a satirical thing, because I feel like yes, you could make fun of it, some of the stuff at Burning Man, but it also kind of felt weird. So I was wondering. But when we got there, she like figured, my mom had like explained it wrong. It didn't end up being anything satirical. It was just literally pieces from past years at like Burning Man and art pieces that are created there when they're in the desert, and all about like the culture of Burning Man, kind of the people who go and all this crazy stuff. And it was so cool. It was so cool. There was probably my favorite part. Oh, this is a new bronzer. I'm really bad at telling you guys what I'm testing. But this is a new bronzer that I got. It is the Rimmel London Sunshine Bronzer in 20. I don't love this bronzer. I didn't realize when I bought it that it has glitter. And I think even when you put it on, because I've worn it a couple of times, even when you put it on, it just gives you that little hint of glitter that you may not want. So just kind of be wary of that. If you like sparkly bronzers, this might be for you. And I think maybe for some people it would be good for summer. But for me, I just don't really like sparkly bronzers. So it's not really my thing. I do like the packaging though. And there's a cute little embossing of like a sun, which I think is kind of cute. But So this is probably the thing I was the most excited to review for you guys, because this was something I was really excited to get. All the other stuff I like wanted to be trying, but this is like a new product that I'm like so excited about. It is the Morphe 8 Warm Masters 8W blush palette. So this is what the packaging looks like on the outside. It kind of just feels like the Morphe, the new like 9-pan palettes. It's the same packaging, only longer. And you open it up. There is no mirror, which, okay. But there is all of these really beautiful warm blush tone colors. This, I think you can't even see. It's a little bit more tangerine colored than just orange. It's like an orangey red. And these pinks are really vibrant. There are 3 sort of like satiny shimmery shades, and then 5 of just like the matte shades. I think this is really pretty. I actually used Sweet Goals. I used like a mix of Sweet and Unapologetic last night, this like light color and this dark color, and it looked really, really, really pretty. So the formula was really nice. So now I'm kind of going to use this more super bright coral shade, and I'm probably going to also put maybe like Babe, this kind of satiny one, on top of that. So it's very pigmented though, like they're super, super pigmented, which is nice, but also kind of scary because I don't like blushes to be too pigmented. Like, I am using the smallest amount of pressure, and it just gave me such a flush. I really like these palettes, though. I think for $20, that's such a good deal for $20 to get 8 blushes that are really good, really warm tone and cute. They have a cool tone one, too, so if you're a makeup artist, I think this would be really cool to have, like, really pigmented, nice blushes in warm and cool sort of colors. I don't know. I really, really like it. But yeah, the Burning Man exhibit was super cool. Probably the coolest part of the whole thing. They had this one part where they recreated. I didn't know a lot about Burning Man going in. I knew it was kind of a festival where the rules don't apply and they don't have like a bunch of things that normal society has. And the coolest part was there was this temple. Every year at Burning Man, there's this guy who goes and he creates these beautiful, like intricate, it was so insane. Like, it was these intricately carved wooden temples that they build, and people go there, and it's really quiet at I watched like a video about it, and like saw the whole thing. It was really cool. And people go there, and people who have maybe experienced a loss, or people who have gone through something or whatnot, they all go to this temple and they write on like the walls, or you write on this little card. I wrote on a card, I wrote something. And then at the end of the festival, every single year they burn down the temple. And it's like a really symbolic thing of like, you write down a problem, you write down a grievance, you write down something, and then it's burned. And it's kind of like a really ceremonial thing. But people go to this temple like every single day. Nobody talks. People just go and they cry and they grieve and they mourn and they, you know, they're happy or they're sad or they're, you know, whatever. And it's a place at Burning Man for people to just go and like go through that spiritual kind of experience. It's wild. I don't have anything new for brows, so we're just gonna do same old brows. I'm sorry. I was telling my sister, not to be all like, oh, I went to an art museum and I like overanalyzed things, but I was telling my sister how wild it was. Not only is this an art exhibit that we're at, because it was technically like an art exhibit, but it's also learning about this whole culture that I knew like nothing about really. Like, you hear Burning Man and you think naked hippies in a desert, but it's kind of I don't really think I would ever go to Burning Man just because I get anxiety, and not being near a hospital would kind of stress me out. I don't necessarily, but I like the idea of it. Like, the idea is you go and you can just be whatever you want, and it breaks all of the norms of traditional society. You can wear, they had a whole exhibit dedicated to like some of the craziest like costumes people wore, and like these bicycles and machines they used to ride around on in the desert. And just like, it was so wild to see, and just like how it got started. And the artwork and the photos were so beautiful. And this is, I'm going to pause my story, but this is the new Violet Voss palette that I got. It's not a new palette, but it was out of stock at Sephora for a long time, and it's back in stock. $30. And it is the Violet Voss, what is it called, the Rainbow palette? It's called the Rainbow Eyeshadow Palette. And it looks like this. It's got a really bunch of bright colors. It's a lot brighter than I think you can see on the screen. The thing I didn't know about this palette was that it is a completely sparkle palette, which I didn't know. But so I'm just going to do a whole, I'm not going anywhere after this, so if it looks like crap, it just looks like crap. But I'm going to try to do the whole thing with just this palette and not use any matte shades and kind of just see what happens. I'm a little nervous, but I want to be able to test out a lot of the colors, and I don't think I can do that if I'm just like sticking to the norm. So we're just going to make everything really sparkly. Okay, this is Fallout like a mofo. This is such a cool look, and you can't even see it because the camera quality sucks. I'm so bummed. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and the reason I'm putting it in at this part of the video instead of the end, or instead of like the very beginning of the video, is kind of because I want to talk to the people who really have supported me, watch all my videos, and just kind of get your advice and input on something, because I have a couple of things that I'm working on and planning to do, and I just want to get your opinion. So a lot of people have been suggesting things to me for this channel, things kind of like opening a P.O. box and doing sort of merchandising stuff, like opening, like not really like merch, but some of you guys have expressed an interest in that. And a lot of people, have expressed an interest in a Patreon and said they would be interested in something like a Patreon. I have said before, and I stand with this, that I don't want people to pay me for the average content that I do on YouTube. And I mean that. I'm going to do the lower lash line and then give you final thoughts on this palette, because I have some thoughts. I don't want people to have to like pay me for the content that I put out on my channel, because I don't know, I just feel weird about it. This is no tea to anyone who does it. Just for me personally, I got mascara all over, so I'm letting it dry and then I'm gonna scrape it off. But for me, it always felt kind of weird to use a free platform, but also be like, oh, but also pay me money to do something. But I've thought about it a lot, and I've put a lot of thought, probably too much thought, honestly, into it. And I've decided I think I am going to do one if this video gets a decent reaction for it. I don't expect more than like 5 people to do it. Honestly, I don't expect anyone to do it. I know there are probably like 5 people that'll actually do it. I have really low expectations for it. The reason I want to do it, though, I kind of want to break it down and like explain myself a little bit, because I feel like I can't just go from being like, Patreon is stupid, to then being like, oh, come support my Patreon. So I really want to do a Patreon. And the reason I want to do that is I want to start making content that's a lot longer. I'm going to tell you guys what that is, but I have a few things that I want to start making that's a lot longer and is going to require a lot more time and a lot more editing. And just a lot more kind of work in general. The way I want to set it up, and the ideal way I would like to do it, is to do weekly videos that would be a lot longer or a lot more like editing than my normal videos. So one idea that Charles and I have been working on, he really likes doing the videos with me and stuff, and he doesn't want to like start his own channel or do anything like that, but he enjoys like occasionally doing a video with me or something, just because he likes to also be creative, and he's really funny with ideas when it comes to editing, and I think he's really good on camera too. Like, he's genuinely a really good person to bring on. He's funny and interesting, but I don't necessarily want this to be like a couples channel, because that's not what this is. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't like a his and my channel situation. So our idea is for every other week, we would do bi-weekly podcasts on the Patreon account. So every other week you would be getting a podcast from us, just talking about random topics, doing random things, taking suggestions from you guys of topics you want to hear us talking about like not just makeup, but like lifestyle, video games, TV shows that we're watching, like random stuff. And then I also would like to do the other week, like the off week we wouldn't be doing the podcast, I want to do more like cooking videos and like vlogs and more other, like maybe a paint with me or like a singing stuff if you guys want to hear it. It's so embarrassing, but like I want to do stuff that also has my other interests and not just my drama makeup stuff. And I don't want to put any of my drama makeup stuff on there because you guys are subscribed for that content here. And I don't ever want to like hold back that content from you guys. Also, what I have the tiers, I'm probably going to put the link to, I already made the whole thing. I just haven't gone live with it because I've been kind of nervous. but I'm going to put the link down below. And if you guys want to check it out, or if any of you think this is like a horrible idea and you're super, super opposed to it, let me know down below. I'll obviously take that into consideration. I obviously don't want to piss anyone off or make anyone feel bad about it. Don't feel like you need to comment and apologize if you can't afford it, because I'm not like mad at anyone who can't do it. I have no preference for the Patreons I have or the people I don't have. I wanted to explain why I wanted to do it. I'm not making a Patreon to pay my bills or buy food or, you know, do whatever. The reason I want to make a Patreon is because I would like to start building up a savings that is specifically for my YouTube channel. So the first goal I have is to be able to buy a different microphone. A lot of you, a lot of people have left comments, which is, this is no shade. I appreciate the constructive criticism about what I can do better quality-wise. But a lot of people comment and say, like, your sound quality is really bad. And it is, because I'm using the mic that's attached to my camera. So it's not great, obviously. It's not professional at all. So the first thing I want to do, have a goal for, is to use Patreon money, save that up, and then buy a new microphone for the channel. And for like the podcast and for all the other videos I do. And then the second goal would be saving up so I can buy a new editing software so I can do cooler edits and all the zooms and stuff I do and all the weird little edits I do on my videos, being able to do more of that and do it a little bit more intense. I have a whole list of things, but I don't want you guys to think if you're signing up, you're just signing up because I want money for me. I just would like to be able to have money to put into my channel, but I don't want you to be like doing it and not getting anything. So there's also like different actual physical rewards you can get from me. There's like, you can read it, they're kind of stupid, but they're like, I really tried. I really did. So there's kind of like the physical rewards you can get, and then there's also like the $1 tier. You get access to all the videos. But even if you just do the $1 a month, I also have it set monthly, not per video, because I'm going to be doing 4 videos a week or 4 videos a month. So I don't want you to have to pay like $4 if you're just whatever. So if you can afford the like $1 to $2 to $5 a month, whatever tier you can afford, know that I appreciate it, obviously. But I just wanted to kind of put that out there for you guys and tell you guys I was doing that and have an open discussion about it. If you guys really think it's a terrible idea and you're really against it, I understand. But I wanted to kind of explain like why I'm doing it, what you're going to get if you do choose to sign up, and just all of that, basically. So, yeah, I wanted to talk to you guys about that. So, and I do have, this is the new Morphe highlighter, by the way. I have in the shade Spark. I've used this twice. I'm literally obsessed. Both of these Morphe products were the biggest hit of this haul. Like, these Morphe products are so amazing and so beautiful. It's not the most, like, right off the bat intense, but that was 2 dips. I don't know if you guys can see. It's really bright. It's more of a, like, brightening than a blinding highlight. I really like it. I can tell this is going to be my new fave. The finish is so beautiful. It's not really texturizing. I want to get more. I think it just leaves a super, super pretty finish. And it can be layered to be more intense or be a little bit more subtle, which I'm just obsessed with. Not that I need highlight because I'm sweaty, so I don't really need to glow any more than I already am. But yeah, I would say, just going back to like products and stuff, the 2 products I liked the most were the Morphe blush palette and the Morphe highlighter. Those things have been fantastic. Everything else has been fine. They've been good products. Just like not my favorite. I will say about this palette, I think it's super pigmented. You can see the look I've created. I did something kind of colorful and crazy. I think I would use this more for a pop of color type palette than doing full-on looks like this, simply because it's all glitter, but it is really pretty and really, really pigmented. You can see the pink kind of got muddied up a little bit with the yellow and the purple, which is probably, I'm not gonna like blame the palette because that's probably my fault, like that's probably user error on my fault. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. I'm just going to throw on this Ofra lipstick. I got it in a BoxyCharm and I've been like obsessed with it. So I'll have that Patreon link down below if you guys want to look at it. If you don't, or if you can't donate or like be a Patreon or whatever, or patron, do not feel bad. I don't want any comments being like, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't do it. Do not apologize if you can't do it. I hold no resentments towards you about it. I truly am just doing it because if you want to support the channel and you are interested in that type of extra content, that's why I'm doing it. So don't feel bad. I'm not mad at you. Nobody's mad at you. We're all still friends here. I think I'm gonna even post the first the first video I do as a solo that I'm gonna put on Patreon and the first podcast. I'm gonna post those to my channel so you guys can get a taste of what you're signing up for before you sign up, which hopefully will like make you guys kind of see what I'm talking about a little bit better. But yeah, that's pretty much my video for today. Buy the Morphe stuff, man. It's really good. I like it a lot, especially the blush palette for 20 bucks. I don't think you can go wrong. I have it linked below. I have magic links though, so I get money if you buy through the links. But there's also, you can get it at Ulta, like it's everywhere. But yeah, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. I'm honestly just so happy you're here watching me. I love you guys so much, and thank you for watching and everything you guys do for me. I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!